We in Earth now. Ursula. 2-drop 5k. When Ursula enters the field by summons or abilities, you may search for one job monk or card name monk added to your hand. When Ursula attacks, choose up to 1/4 your opponent controls. Ursula and the chosen 4 deal damage equal to their respective power to each other. So this is pretty good. She's pretty cheap. So she's also one of those things where she can search another card on entry, and then when she attacks, she shoots something and somebody shoots her. Whoever's stronger wins. But there's ways to boost her attack. So I like this Ursula a lot. I think it's a pretty good card. This card is stupid. I read it earlier. Atomos. Before paying the cost to cast Atomos, you can remove one Earth backup you control from the game to reduce the cost by 2. Choose 1/4, deal it 1,000 for each card in your break zone. So you can pay 2 cards to add to the damage, or you can remove an Earth backup like Shantoto, so you can Shantoto again and deal something 10, 12, 20k. This card's insane. And that art shows you how insane that this card is. Vincent is a 2-drop 5k forward. First strike. When Vincent attacks, Vincent gains 4k power until the end of the turn. And then you can pay 2 Earth CP and then 5 or whatever. Choose 1 forward, deal it the damage equal to Vincent's power. I don't really see anybody doing that, but I wouldn't put it past anybody to do it. They just give Vincent some of the worst cards. Like, Vincent is way more powerful than this. And I don't know if it's because they're waiting to give his forms better effects and better things like that, but this is okay, but it's not like groundbreaking. I mean, the fact that it's a first strike 9k on swing is good, but if you got 7k to just blow something up, I'm sure you got 7k to disperse over a bunch of different cards that can probably do the same thing and benefit you more. Were Rat. 1-drop monster. Dull it. Discard 1 Earth card. Choose 1 forward. It gains 1,000 to end. And then 1 Earth CP. Put it into the break zone. Choose a forward. Gains 2k until the end. So this is just a buffer. And you could use this for Ursula if you wanted, just to make sure she survives the attack and the confrontation that she puts herself in. Wol, W-O-L, 3-drop 8k forward. This is also a legend. Remove 3 Earth cards in the break zone from the game. Choose 1 Earth forward you control. Dull it. To the end of the turn, it gains this card cannot be broken. Blurred Strikes is the special by discarding a copy of Wol, W-O-L, 1 Earth CP. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 of them other than the card named Wol among them to your hand and put the rest into the break zone. This is okay, I guess. This is more like a Leo protector, protecting things that you need to stay alive, but it's also a monk, so Ursula can search this. So yeah, overall this is good. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it objectively, this is pretty solid actually. Cutter, 3-drop 8k monster. When it becomes a forward, when Cutter enters the field, you may pay XX. When you do so, choose X dual forwards, break them. 1 Earth CP into the end of the turn. Cutter also becomes a forward 8k. You may pay XX. When you do so, choose. So is that saying you can pay twice? Like you could pay 3 and then you can pay 2? I think that's what that means. I don't know. I have to double check that, but I think that's what that means. Um, that's solid, I guess. It sucks they have to be dull, but I guess that makes sense. They don't want you just playing something this week and killing everything. Black belt is going to be the equivalent of the other ones, the fire, the wind, except this one, instead of, they're all going to draw a card, but this one is choose a dual forward of 7k or less, break it. So it's just pretty good. This is Refia hate. Kate Sith, 3-drop backup. When he enters the field, you may play one character of cost 2 or less from your hand onto the field. Oh, Zidane. 1 earth, and dulling him, put him into the break zone. Choose one category 7 character in your break zone, add it to your hand. Yeah, he's pretty good. General, EX burst, 5-drop, 9k power, warrior, has brave. When he leaves the field, choose one job warrior or a card named warrior other than himself in the break zone, add it to your hand. He cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons. If general is dealt damage by your opponent's summons, the damage becomes 0. Yeah, this is strong. This is insane. He does a lot not only for himself, but he does a lot for the warriors surrounding him. So this is kind of like freaking Guts from Berserk. In warrior form. This card's pretty good. Alright, Scar Miglion's another one that I went over previously. You can just go on the channel and find that video. I don't want to double dip, but he is pretty good. Back attack, nice art. Let's keep going. Sophie, let me tell you their stats. 7k power, 4-drop. When Sophie enters the field, select one of the 2 following actions. Play one category Mobius forward of cost 3 or less from your hand onto the field, which is the wall we just looked at earlier. Could be a target. Or search up to 2 characters or 2 card named Sophie and add it to your hand. Then she has Thor's Hammer, which is a copy of Sophie, and dulling her. Choose one forward, deal it 3k for each backup you control, so possibly 15,000. Yeah, that's a really strong card for a common, but it is Earth, so you know Earth is earthy. Soldier Candidate, this one has Brave. They're all gonna have the same stats: 5k power, 2-drop. And if you have a Soldier Candidate in the break zone, this one gains 2k, and then when it attacks, all the Soldier Candidates gain 1,000 to the end of the turn. So that one is also pretty good. Dine is a 5-drop 9k outlaw. When he enters the field, choose one forward your opponent controls. If you control 5 or more backups, Dine and the chosen forward deal damage equal to their respective power. Damage 3, Dine gains 1,000. There's so many cards that do way more than this, and I don't know why they wasted that art on such a generic effect. I'm kind of disappointed. But hey, yeah, that's Dine. Alright, Tifa is a 4-drop 8k forward avalanche operative. At the beginning of the attack phase during each of your turns, choose one forward your opponent controls, deal it 3,000 damage for each category 7 forward that has entered the field this turn. When Tifa attacks, all the category 7 forwards you control gain 2k power until the end of the turn. So she's pretty cool, especially if she's like teaming up with Jesse, Biggs, or Wedge, even Barrett at some point, just because she has that extra 2k boost that she's gonna give not only herself, but whoever she's attacking with, if they're a 7 forward, and any other 7 forwards that you may have on the field at the time. She also gives reason for like kind of like a nick damage, if you will, because she counts herself if she enters the field at the beginning of the attack phase. So this Tifa is pretty good, pretty strong as well, because she is one of those things where if you're playing a lot of, I don't know, those soldier candidates. You can play 2 soldier candidates for 2 drops a piece, so 4 for a turn, and she's gonna hit something for 6k. And then when she attacks, those soldier candidates get an extra 2k because they are category 7 forwards. And if they have soldier candidates in the break zone, they're gonna get an extra 2k. So I think that 5k becomes a 9k. And that's pretty good in the grand scheme of things. So this Tifa is a lot more powerful than she looks. But then again, I mean, Tifa is pretty powerful, so don't put anything past her. Big Barrett, Big B, 6 drop, 9k forward, Avalanche operative. He has Brave. When Barrett enters the field, you may search for 1 card Cloud, Maureen. I'm sorry, 1 card name Marlene. Oh my goodness. Or Job Avalanche operative of 4 or less and play it onto the field. At the beginning of the attack phase, during each of your turns, choose 1 forward your opponent controls. If you control 7 or more 7 characters, category 7 characters, deal it 9k. So with the Avalanche deck, or the 7 deck, being heavily backup with 7 characters, you have, and I'm not going to be able to remember all their names, but I think it's Elfie is one of them. There's the chick. There's the dude that is an Avalanche operative. You got Biggs, you got Wedge, you got Jesse, you got Cloud, Vincent, Red, Kate Sith, Yuffie, Tifa, Aerith, Sephiroth, Zack, any of the Turks, Scarlet, Reeve. So you have enough to make it to where it's easily 7. So five backups, 2 or 3 monsters in this Barrett, and he's pretty much gonna blow up something every turn. And he's pretty strong to protect himself. He has Brave, so he can attack, be a blocker as well. And then he searches Marlene or another operative and plays them, which makes me believe that we're going to get a new Marlene in the Gunslingers in the Abyss set, because there's not a new one in this set. So that leaves me to believe that there's going to be a lot more powerful either operatives or Marlene cards. So this is very interesting, and he is a legend. Riku is a 3 drop, 7k forward. She is a warrior / Going, category 10. When Riku enters the field, you may play 1 backup of cost 3 or less from your hand onto the field. When the backup enters your field until the end of the turn, all category 10 forwards you control gain 2k power and Brave. So this is a real good game ender, if you will, because, or at least a solid force stance, because if you have 3 or 4 forwards, and you play her, she's gonna play you a backup, which is gonna trigger her secondary ability, which is giving everybody 2k. Everybody's getting Brave. That is a category 10. So you got stuff like Kamari, you got stuff like Auron, Titus, Yuna, Lulu, Pain. So you got a bunch of things that are there, and plus the new Gipple if you want, which is gonna also give them another 2k power. And not only that, they can't be selected by your opponent's card abilities. And with that, they have Brave. So you can just essentially get rid of, let's say you're playing Nuge. You can get rid of Nuge so she can play something else the following, or you can play another backup on the following turn. So they get another 2k, another Brave. It won't stack, but you'll be able to have attackers and blockers, which is very important, because if you can't block, it's kind of hard to attack sometimes, unless you know that attacking is going to lead to you having a solid defense, or at least enough damage that you can survive the following turn. So this Riku is pretty solid in my opinion. Luca is a 3 drop backup. When Luca enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 character of cost 2 or less among them to your hand, and return the other cards to the bottom of your deck. By doling Luca, you can choose one forward of cost 2 or less. It gains 1,000 power until the end of the turn. Um, this is okay. I mean, this is one of those things where if something has 8k and you do something with it and they Amaterasu, you can just dull Luca, give it 1,000 so that card survives, but then they only have 1,000 power left, which is better than being broken. But if you know that there's nothing else that they can do outside that point, at least you get to keep your forward and the damage resets itself on the following turn. This also gives you a chance to get either a forward or a backup to your hand on play, and it would have been dope if she was a 2-drop herself, but she's not, so can't really wish for something that's not gonna happen. But she kind of pays for herself somewhat, and she kind of helps things stay alive as much as possible. So useful, yes.